Hello and welcome to today's video. Today is the second video in my spring makeup series. Today we're talking about purple. Now this video is going to be a little shorter than some of the other ones because one, I've already done a purple video back in the fall. Now granted, in springtime I tend to go towards more cool tone purples versus in the fall time I think I stuck to more like dramatic and slightly warmer purples. So you'll see a little bit of a difference today in the kinds of styles of purples that I like to wear, but also because I have another video on purples, I'm not going to show other palettes that have purple looks in them. I only have 4 looks for you today, so why don't we go ahead and get into it. Okay, as we get started, I just want to say again, I will have the video linked for you, but if you want to see some purple lipstick options, I don't have many in my collection, but what I do have will be in the other video. And you can kind of go check out, if you're interested in purple lipsticks, that video will have them. And then also if you want to see a couple other purple looks, feel free to check that video out. But why don't we get started with this palette here. This is my Sigma Enchanted palette. And our first look is pretty easy. Honestly, most of these looks for this video look very similar. I just kind of wear the same color, kind of purple or structured eye, and you'll kind of notice that the tones slightly change a little bit. So if they look a little bit redundant, I'm sorry, I was trying to just reach for multiple palettes, and this is the kind of eyeshadow look that I tend to create with different palettes. So first off, we have Innocent in the crease, Loam on the outer corner to kind of deepen that up. I have a little bit of trouble with Loam, I'm not gonna lie. I know that I haven't done a dedicated review to this palette yet, but sometimes the mattes in this palette can be a little bit like chalky and dry on my lids, and they can be a little bit patchy because of that. I don't know if it's just me, maybe it's my technique, but I have a little bit of trouble, so I have to kind of work slow with these. Even though they're buildable shades, they don't go on super pigmented, but I do have to kind of slowly work that up, otherwise it'll be very patchy on me. So yeah, crease, outer corner, and then on my lid over glitter glue. I find that these kind of beautiful glittery shades really do work best over a glitter glue. I have the shade Plume, which is a beautiful kind of like a fuchsia kind of purple, but it's still like, it screams very like springtime tones to me. So very beautiful look, and that is look number 1. All right, look number 2, I decided to use the Truly Madly Deepa palette again. Now in the fall video, you'll see a look with this palette that ends up being very kind of almost red toned purple look, and I wanted to kind of redo that look but use Sandman here, which is absolutely beautiful. So super easy, straightforward look again, pretty cool in my crease. Now this is that matte with glitter formula from ColourPop, but I find that honestly I don't notice any of the glitter on my actual eyes, and these kind of mattes with shimmer end up being a softer, slightly like more powdery formula compared to like this shade up here in Golden Gate Bridge that I'm trying to pan. This one's so hard packed and it doesn't hardly has any kick up at all, whereas this has a little bit more kick up. So maybe I've heard debates about whether or not this glitter in the matte formula is there for like blendability or if it helps kind of with the formula. In my experience, they are different formulas. I mean, clearly they're different shadows, but I actually really like the way these shadows blend on my eyes. So again, pretty cool in my crease, too much on my outer corner, and then Mr. Sandman here, which is this beautiful kind of like a duochrome. It's like a deep purple kind of color, but it's also got like a purple, almost silver kind of shift to it, and it's right there. It's so beautiful, and that's on my lid, and it's just such a gorgeous look. Definitely more cool tone, more spring appropriate. I would probably reach for this color in the spring, and then in the fall do something like I did, which is why it's in the fall series. But yeah, that's look number 2. Now moving into look number 3, we have the Natasha Denona Lila palette. This one, again, more cool toned. I don't know why I do it. I think in the winter, like, I'm definitely noticing that I have an eyeshadow type. In fall and summer, I'm all about warm tones, but in winter and then spring, I love my cool tones. So this one, you'll see more cool tones here. I think I have these two mixed in my crease. Hopefully you can see it in the palette with this lighting, but these two shades lean a little bit more cool tone. So those are in my crease. And then in my outer corner, I continued to build up the shade Per Se, which is probably the coolest tone matte in this palette, and I worked it on the outer corner, and I did a little bit more of a halo eye, and then I wanted to reach for this shade down here. This shade is called Pure. I'm saying it correctly, but the way I say it also makes me feel like I have like a like I stumble over it. And again, you can kind of see that I definitely have a type. Let me put that palette down so I stop blinding you, but I definitely have a cool tone purple type if you can't tell. And this one, you can also tell that this Natasha Denona metallic formula really is more satin, and even the like ColourPop shade has a bit more like sheen to it. So I hope that comes across on camera. Now in person, the Cosmos shade from Sigma comes off very glittery, but I think on camera right now it might not be coming across just how glittery it is. It's definitely the most glittery out of those those 3 shades. But yeah, I do really enjoy this palette for those kind of cool tones. I think that they're very sophisticated, and I do enjoy wearing this one a lot in the spring. And that brings us to the last look, look number 4, the one I'm wearing right now, and that is from the Norvina palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Now the original one, I love this palette. You've heard me say this again and again and again, but this look, again, super easy. Let me zoom you in. All right, we're a little tighter on the face. Try not to judge this daggum lash over here. I was putting these lashes on, and it was only once I got them on that I realized, ooh, these are done and they need to be trashed. But once I had them on, I was like, not gonna take them off just to put on a better looking lash. Anyways, we have the shade Volatile here in my crease. This is one of my favorite shades in my entire collection. It's a beautiful cool tone matte shade, and I find that if I just go in with one little tap and knock off my brush, I can put it into my crease and sheer it out so beautifully, not patchy or anything. And then if I wanted like put it on the outer corner and deepen it up, it deepens up so beautifully, and it can get pretty daggum deep. And it's just like one of the best performing shades in my opinion. I wish all of my matte shades perform like this shade. It's so beautiful. But yeah, I ended up putting Volatile in my crease, and then Soul I started to put on my outer corner. I had put a little bit of Volatile on the outer corner, and then I kind of worked back and forth until I got it to look a bit more deep. I didn't really care for it. I didn't need it to look or want it necessarily to look purple. I just wanted to make sure that in the outer corner got the depth of it that I wanted it to. And then I also put Volatile a little bit on my inner corner, and then on my lid, of course, I have the shade Celestial, which is this beautiful, beautiful, like just such a great springtime purple shade. So that is on my lid there. And that's that Celestial shade swatched out next to the other ones. But again, such a gorgeous spring look. And I was sort of zoomed out again before I go wipe my hands off. I just love this shade. It's so much more vibrant than the other ones. The other ones are more muted, kind of subdued purples. And this one is, when you look at it one way, it's more subdued, but on my hand in person, I don't know if it's coming across on screen, it's more vibrant, and it's just so beautiful. That shade gets me every time. It's one of my favorite shades in that entire palette. But yeah, you always hear me talk about this palette in terms of it's one of my favorite palettes, and it's just such a beautiful color story that I had to include it in this spring color series. I know this is a shorter video, but make sure, again, if you want some more purple looks, go check out that other video, and I will see you in the next one, which will be peaches. So be on the lookout for that next video, and let me know in the comments what your favorite spring purple palette is, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.